Yo, yo, tap in, tap in, tap in. Let's make sure the volume is where the volume need to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen, man, we here to make sure the volume up. Make sure you know what? Excuse me. Let's make sure the volume up. Let's make sure everything is clear. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Truth. Y'all see the title, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all know what's going on, man. You know what I mean? For those that haven't been live with me, man, you see it's a new background. You know what I'm saying? The camera might look a little better. The audio might sound a little crispier. You know what I'm saying? Crispier. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. It feels good to be back live. I feel like actually no, I feel like the last time I went live was for the Shadeja Green interview. We had a good turnout for that. I want to thank everybody for tapping in with me. And again, before we get started today, let me get on my little high horse, man. Again, everybody that subscribed to me, everybody that fuck with ASOD for what ASOD bringing to the table. Listen, man, you truly appreciate it, man. You truly appreciate it, man. I just ask one thing. I just ask one thing. I just ask for you to hit the like button when you pop in these joints, man. That's all I'm asking for. You know, sometimes I might put out a couple things. YouTube may or may not get my notifications out there to the people, to the family, to the ASOS familiar. So again, just make sure y'all pop in and tap that like button. You know what I'm saying? We are monetized now, so if you want to be friendly enough to donate some of that hard-earned US dollars to your boy, I appreciate that as well. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, you know what's going on. So what I want to do, I want to pull up the boxing scene article because I don't want to miss nothing. You get what I'm saying? I'm excited. I know you excited. It's 2020. Man, listen, hold up. Listen, this is your boy Truth. Welcome to ASOP Boxing. And right now, you tuning in with me because
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.
and that's a fact though, man. Most of these motherfuckers that's on here talking boxing, most of these motherfuckers is that's on here acting like they pugilistic experts. You know what I'm saying? Most of these motherfuckers is fanboys that don't know nothing about boxing. Most of these guys is fanboys that don't know nothing about boxing, man. Let's be real. Let's be a hundon. You know what I'm saying? Let's put this shit in all caps. Most of these guys don't know, man. Most of these guys started watching boxing in the pandemic. Let's be real. I'm being real. I'm only gonna do. I'm only thing I could do is bring you the truth. They say the truth is undisputed. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into the boxing scene article real quick. You know what I mean? Before we start this, you know what I mean? Before we start to cook on this topic of Shakur Stevenson, Sugar Shakur Stevenson versus Frank the Ghost Martin. I like that. I like how that sound. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like that. Okay, but we gonna tap right in and get into it. So Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin, top ranked TGB come to an agreement on a fight for the fight on ESPN. So first of all, for those that don't know, it was supposed to be a purse bid today. You know what I'm saying? Now a lot of times, not a lot of times, sometimes with these fights, um, they'll give an extension saying, hey, listen, the purse bid was supposed to be September 5th. We need to work out a couple more kinks. Do y'all mind giving us an extension for a week or two? This was different. They didn't do that, right? Because these guys, like the title says, has come to an agreement. That means it's already been preliminary talks, right? It ain't like Top Rank was at a standstill and TGB / man down, whatever you want to call it, was going back and forth. There has been an agreement. You get what I'm saying? So they both agree. They both ready to strap them up, line them up, and get busy and shake something. I'm saying much respect to Shakur Stevenson. Much respect to Frank Martin. Let's read this article, man, by Keith Eidick from the boxing scene. BoxingScene.com has learned that and you know what? This is weird. This is weirdness to me too. Why do it got to be Bob Arum's top rank? Why do it got to be Tom Brown's TB? Was it I thought it was TBG or TGB. I don't know, man. I might be backwards. But why do it like even my man, what's my son name? Michael Benson. Why do it Al Heyman's PBC? Bro, you bugging. Like, what is that for? Hey, what my man, who this for? Who is this for? What is that for? I don't get that. But whatever. Let's keep pushing past it, man. A WBC purse bid for their intriguing lightweight championship match was scheduled for 1:00 today. And it was canceled. Stevenson 20-0, 10 knockouts. Martin 18-0, 12 knockouts with meet in a 135 title fight at ESPN will televise as a part of its exclusive content partnership with Top Rank. ESPN. The date and site of the Stevenson Martin fight yet could not be confirmed. When the story was posted, Aram told Boxing Scene recently, though, that Stevenson fight was tentatively scheduled to take place on November 16th. That's a Thursday night in Las Vegas. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not feeling that. But we're going to talk about that. Regardless, Stevenson Martin is one of the best bouts that could have been made within the lightweight division. Facts. Stevenson has hoped to challenge undefeated, undisputed champ Devin Haney for his 4 titles, but Haney is in negotiations right now with Regis Prograis. Again, remember, like now again, I'm just reading words, right? It says that he's in negotiations. See, first they said that they had remember before it was some kind of term sheet that they came with a date on it. That date ended up being the same as Fury and Ngannou. And so as of this article coming out, that fight is still in negotiations. So, I just seen Tank tweet something, talk about moving silence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people jumping on that. We know Tank is a real cryptic tweeter. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's still a shot in the dark to get Devin Haney and Tank Davis. And the reason why I say that is because it's simple math. Look on the schedule. Look at the boxing. Now, PBC then came with this crazy 2023, one of the best years in boxing history. You get what I'm saying? TGB, shout out to Tom Brown. Great fucking guy. If you ever meet him, great guy. We'll stop and talk to you. Great guy, right? Hell of a year as a promoter. But PBC, that then gave us this solid year. We got Canelo and Charlo. But if you pay attention, that's the only thing on the calendar. That's the only thing. Ain't no more PBC fights scheduled for the rest of this year, except Canelo and Charlo. So just keep that in mind. Tank still got to get a date this year. We still got to see Big Charlo back out. They talking about Andre and Benavidez on pay-per-view in November. I'm sure we're gonna see Dave Morrell again. It's some more fighters that we got to see. I know Michelle Rivera is got to come back. It's a lot of fighters that we got to see. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm still waiting on that. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope for Haney and Tank. Now, is that a fight that I really want to see personally? Not at 1-5, but hey, what truth one don't matter all the time. You know what I'm saying? If y'all just joining the stream, make sure y'all tap that like button, man. Again, we monetize now. If you want to donate, let's get it. All right. Okay, where we at? The WBC consequently rendered Haney is lightweight champion in recess in order Stevenson Martin wants the former champ Vasily Lomachenko turned down the opportunity to face Stevenson next. Ukraine's Lomachenko 17-3, who lost the decision, blah, 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 blah. It seemed that Tuesday's purse bid would have been would proceed as planned until top rank Stevenson and TGB reached an agreement with a little bit time to spare. Stevenson, a Newark, New Jersey native, yeah. Shout out to the fucking hometown, man. Newark, man. Shout out to Newark, man, for real. Who's ranked number 2 by the WBC in the 135 division, would have been entitled to 60%. Okay, so would have been a little 60-40 with Frank Martin. That's not bad. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So basically, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? That's good work. Hey, hold up. Shout out to my man Boston. My man Boston's in the building. What's good, my boy? Boston, how you feeling? What's good, my boy? We in here. What's good, my boy? You know what I'm saying? We in here, man. So, hey, I think this is a great fight. I think that shout out to Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people give Shakur shit, you know what I'm saying, because he got a real big fan base. And maybe, you know what? I don't even want to say real big fan base. Like, we know who Shakur Stevenson is. I think you got some guys like, your Tank Davises, your Canelos, your Devin Haney's, and a couple other guys that may have, I want to say, like a more hardcore following than Shakur Stevenson. Um, I do think Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter, the best American fighter right now. I do believe that. Well, besides Terrence Crawford, excuse me, like, right, minus Terrence Crawford, I think that Shakur Stevenson is one of the best, if not the best, American fighter that we got today. That's my personal opinion. That's my truth, right? But at the same time, I think the issue that people have with Shakur Stevenson and or his fan base is that, you know, we give Shakur a lot of mythical matchups, right? People always saying like, oh, y'all say Shakur could beat Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, da da da. But that's how we feel. So don't get mad, bro. You go to some of these pages, man, and you got the Haneys, and again, I fuck with. I don't got a problem with Devin Haney at all. But you got the Haneys, man. They flying YouTubers out like thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Giving them rooms and letting them stay in the crib and letting them ride in the cars and all of that, man. So listen. Everybody gotta have a fan base, man. Y'all gotta, you know what I mean? Y'all gotta show my man Shakur some love, man. Listen, this Tuesday night live is sponsored by, you know, Red Cup Chronicles, man. It might be water, it might be something different, you know what I mean? It might be some of the Michael Jordan special stuff in here. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it's Red Cup Chronicles. Let's take a sip. That's what I call high quality H2O. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I think that it's real good on both of these fighters to make this fight. Frank Martin, I want to say his last two fights, he been calling out the likes of, you know, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. He's already mentioned that he wanted to fight. So even with Frank Martin taking his fight, I don't think this is like some, oh, you was forced to do this. Like, he's been calling for these fights. Frank Martin is 28 years old. I believe he's shown us who he is. Of course, every fighter has room for improvement, but at the same time, right? We looked at Shakur a lot. Not we, people looked at Shakur Stevenson after the Nakathilia fight and said he was born and he was this and he was that and he'd never be able to be this and that. And then he went out and put a great performance on against Oscar Valdez, a great performance against Jamel Herring, a great performance against Conceição. You know what I'm saying? Got this guy Yoshino up out of here, and we know what Frank Martin do. Obviously, you know his fight that stepped him into contender status was the Michelle Rivera fight. I think he definitely did what he had to do. We know Michelle, you know, tested positive for some substances and did some things, but you know it is what it is. Frank Martin, he went in there, he showed his ass, he did what he had to do. So again, congratulations to both fighters. Like I said, a lot of people was, oh, Frank Martin ain't gonna take this. Oh, Earl and them took a loss, so they're not gonna send Frank Martin over there to take a loss. Derrick James trying to protect that record. If Derrick James lose or Frank Martin, then it, like, you know what I mean? Again, it's the fight business, man. And that's what a lot of people got to understand. Again, and I always want to use my channel to promote the sport. You know what I mean? And not necessarily be a business of boxing head. But the fact of the matter is that it's the fight business. You know what I'm saying? Business got to make sense. And I think this really makes sense. We knew that Frank Martin and team knew they wasn't going to get a crack at Haney. I'm sure they knew or figured they was not about to get a crack at Tank. I think maybe the best thing would have been for Frank Martin and me personally. I was putting Frank Martin in the ring with Edwin De Los Santos. That's another guy that's chasing Shakur around or calling Shakur out. And hey, Edwin, be careful in them Nork streets too, man. I don't know if they told you what Nork is about, but be careful. Be careful in them Nork streets and playing around that South Ward, my boy. Like, be careful because shit could get real nasty. You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, this is from A-Side Boxing to Edwin De Los Santos. When you running around and moving in them Nork streets, make sure you
To the knowledge, nigga.
because you might be somewhere that you don't want to be, dog. I'm telling you, yo. I'm gonna have to holler at my man Broadway Joel because yeah, you gotta get we gotta keep Edward situated, man. That playing around in Nook and especially running around saying Shakur name, that might not be what you want to do in the great city of Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? But again, I gotta give both of these guys props, both of these guys respects for taking this fight. I think it's gonna be a real good fight. And yeah, Frank Martin again, man, he putting that O on the line. Both fighters, the top 5 guys in the 135 division, no question. Obviously, Devin is number 1. You got to put Tank up there. Wherever you put Tank up there, number 2, whatever you want, wherever you want Tank to be at. But I think it's safe to say, it's fair to say that no matter what sanctioning body, and I'm sure in the ring, TBRT, whatever the fuck, I'm sure that both of these guys is top 5 in the lightweight, which means that this is one of the best lightweight fights that could be made, point blank, period. I didn't think that I was going to see Tank in with Shakur Stevenson, especially with Tank just getting done with his situation. Shout out to him. I know he's going to put another exciting show on at the end of this year, so I can't wait to see what Tank got in store. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is a good fight, man. PBC, I'm glad that they, or TGB, whoever, I'm glad that both sides is doing business. I'm glad that we could get this fight over the hump, because this is what the sport of boxing need. More co-promotion. It's not a co-promotional. I guess they sending Frank over there for a fight, but this is what the sport of boxing needs. Shout out to Barbara Choice in the chat. A-Side Boxing Talk, salute. Shout out to Barbara, my girl. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. Barbara be keeping me. She definitely be keeping me hit with all the information. If I'm doing something and I ain't see something, my girl Barbara gonna make sure I get that info, man. Shout out to you, man. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see. I know we having some, a little new mic, but let me shout out to my girl Barbara, man. Shout out to Barbara, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Appreciate you, Barbara. Shout out to you. For sure. Shout out to you. But yeah, man. So let me see what we got. Let me see. Okay, and then another thing too. I think this fight silenced a lot of the haters. The winner of this fight will be in great position. If Shakur Stevenson win this fight, like I'm expecting him to win the fight. I think people. Oh well, let's talk about it. Me, I had Shakur Stevenson as a slight favorite going into the Oscar Valdez fight. And I don't know. I felt like a lot of people shitted on that fight. I think Oscar Valdez was undefeated. Oscar Valdez was a 2-division champion going into that fight. And I just feel like people just kind of shitted on Oscar because they didn't want to give Shakur his props. Now, were the betting odds in Shakur's favor? Yes. But that don't mean that Oscar Valdez wasn't a capable opponent. You get what I'm saying? He hadn't lost to that point. Like a lot of times with I guess maybe some of the boxing hardcores and even some of these casuals, like we got to stop comparing these fighters to the fighters of the 1980s, man. We gotta stop comparing these fighters to Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard and fucking Evander Holyfield and all these guys. They not them. What a 2-division champion look like to you in 1980 or early 1990s is not going to look the same now, bro. It's like every single fighter, people got to find a reason to make him not good enough. You know what I mean? If your favorite fighter beat him, he good enough. But if your favorite fighter don't beat him and somebody else beat him, oh, well, the guy was never enough. Just like with this Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford thing, you had people on one side saying, oh, Crawford resume, he ain't never fought nobody. He fought Sean Porter on the way out. Okay, well, Errol Spence wasn't on the way out, and that fight looked substantially easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just crazy, man. At some point, we got to stop fucking hating, man. Like, at some point, you got to stop hating, stop capping for your mans, and just tell the truth, man. The truth is undisputed. The truth is undisputed, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Shakur versus Martin equals Buzz Protege versus Spence Protege. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. That's going to be, listen, this is going to be, I think, again, I'm picking Shakur Stevenson to win this fight, but I think this is going to be a very good fight. A very, very, very good fight. But I'm glad that these two dudes came together, is getting this over the finish line, and it's going to silence the haters. Now, let's talk about this date stuff, man. For a boxing fan, I think the toughest thing about being a boxing fan is the ability to plan. You know what I mean? Now, like this Canelo Charlo fight, we had this fight for a minute. I want to say we known for at least a month and a half that this fight was happening. So if you somebody that's a fan of Canelo or a fan of Charlo or shit, a fan of Lubin, or this is a stat card, first of all, real quick, but that's a stat card. But the Canelo and Charlo card gives you an opportunity to plan. It gives you an opportunity to, you know what I mean, make your flight to Vegas, buy your ticket, get your little outfit ready, you know what I'm saying, get your little smell, whatever you need to do. It give you an opportunity to plan, you know what I mean? Putting this fight in Vegas, Formula 1 week, November 16th, a Thursday, that's stupid. I mean, I'm trying to find a better way to put it, but in my personal opinion, you know, and again, this is just my truth right now. I think that's stupid. I don't think that it makes sense to put Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin, a black fighter versus another black fighter on in the middle of Formula 1 week on a Thursday. That don't make no sense. Like, what? Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin, Formula 1 week on a Thursday. Explain that. Like, what's the thought process behind that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I can see if you had like I don't even know, like what form. I don't even know, like that shit just don't coincide. Like I just don't. I can't see how the general boxing fan is, or you know what I'm saying. Like, where does the Formula 1 and boxing collide? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. My man Boston said Thursday is nasty work. Thursday. That's weird, bro. Thursday. Come on, man. We ain't doing that. Let's not do that. Let's make the smart decision, right? Because they had 2 dates. They had a November 16th date and they had a December 9th date, right? So again, I'm gonna ask Teofimo Lopez to help me, right? Let's let Teofimo Lopez help us, okay? What you said, Tio?
If they want the black fighters, they can keep them.
If they want the black fighters, they could keep them. Well, guess what, T.O.? We're going to keep them. So we got 2 black fighters and one that's not even from your stable, right? That's going to get to be a main event on your platform. And let's not just keep them. Let's give them your date, right? We're not going to, well, hold on. What you say, T.O.?
If they want the black fighters, they can keep them.
Yeah, we not only are we going to keep them, let's fucking give them your date, T.O., right? Let's put them on Heisman night. Remember the date? You remember before you made that comment? You know what I mean? I got on a train up from Maryland, paid good money for some tickets, and watched you stink the joint up against my man Sando Martin. Remember that night? Remember do I still got it? I don't care what you did after that. I remember what you did that night though. So while you figuring out if you still got it, let's let 2 black fighters take your date. How about that? I like that, Top Rank. Let's do that. I like that. Let's get your date took. You know what I'm saying? Let's let the black fighters work on your date. You know what I'm saying? My man, Raph, hey, put it on Heisman night. Exactly. My man H Dog was good. He said, please check Thursday night football schedule on 11/16. That makes sense too. You know what I'm saying? My girl Barbara, hey, hit that like button. Hey, listen, again, I'm telling the ASAP fan, man, all I'm asking you to do is hit the like button now. Like I told you before, we monetized. If you want to drop me a super chat, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, show the channel some love, support the channel because we definitely growing. We on the way trying to get up out the fucking building. You get what I'm saying? You want to drop a super chat, ASAP appreciates that. But please, when you come in here, just tap the like button. That's it. I don't want too much. You know what I'm saying? Just tap the like button in so we could, you know what I mean? Let's let YouTube know that y'all rocking with ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Let's let YouTube know that these other guys don't really know too much about boxing. So when you on with ASAP, we working. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, facts. My man Boston said Formula 1 has qualifying on Saturday daytime. I don't see why it would interrupt anything. You right, Boston. But this is my thing about the Formula 1, right? If I'm a boxing fan, which I am, why do I want to take a flight and you got to also think of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Formula One is not a hood sport. You know what I'm saying? We're not catching guys like I never met somebody that said, "Yo, I want to be a Formula One driver." I don't know. I can't tell you who one Formula One driver is. So the fact that we using Tiafimo, I mean, not excuse me, the fact that we're using Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin as a test run for Formula One, I just don't think it make no sense. I don't. I don't see it. Now, maybe now racing is that I don't know if that's like an Italian thing, excuse me, or not. Maybe one of the Italian fighters, maybe what's the guy Guido that got knocked out by Johnny Rice? Maybe put him on Formula One week. Maybe that'll correlate somewhere, but I just don't see how it makes sense to take two black fighters and put them in the middle of Formula One week and have them fight on a Thursday. That's very odd to me. I don't understand that at all. My man H Dog, great. He said, put T.O. ass on Formula One week. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's let T.O. fight Formula One week. Let's see. Let's do T.O. Lopez and Jose Ramirez. Let's do them. Let's do T.O. Lopez or Jose Ramirez Formula One week. Let's do that. Let's have them do that. But that other date, December 9th, I think that make more sense. You know what I'm saying? You got college football, you got the Heisman. So we'll probably have Shador Sanders winning the Heisman, or maybe Travis Hunter winning the Heisman, and then we could and then we could have, you know, Frank Martin and Shakur going on. My man Boston said there's a Mexican in Formula One. I had no idea. I listen. What channel does that come on? Because I'm not hip. Trust me, I'm not hip. I don't know shit about no Formula One, my boy. So you just told me something I did not know. But I just think it make more sense. But you know, Top Rank gonna do what they do. I think it make way more sense to make that fight in December. Shakur last fought, what was that? April. He fought. Frank just fought in last month. What was that? July. Frank just fought the 15th, I think it was. Yeah, you know, so let's let me see. You said, I don't know, man. I see LeBron and a bunch of celebrities pull up to those. Yeah, I mean, LeBron and a bunch of celebrities pull up the boxing fights too. Like, I'm not, again, don't get popularity confused with status symbol. You know what I'm saying? I was in the Barclays Center for the Tank and Rolly fight. Madonna was front row. You think Madonna a hardcore boxing fan? You think Madonna know what Southpaw Unorthodox is? Do you think Madonna got a fucking idea in the world of who Rolly Romero is? No, it's just that status symbol. That's just what it is. So I understand that, you know, some of the, you know, big wigs or some of these high face sports guys going to be there. But again, I'm talking about that boxing fan that wants to spend money, that wants to go to Las Vegas, and that wants to watch Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin. That's the guy I'm talking about. And I think probably what them hotel rooms is going to be going for around that time, I just don't think that make no sense. You got Shakur Stevenson. He's an East Coast guy. Frank Martin, who's is starting to become known in the sport of boxing, not as popular as Shakur Stevenson. Put that thing in MSG, man. Let Nork come through. Put the fight in MSG. You know what I'm saying? Frank supporters will be there. Shakur supporters will be there. And let's get that joint done on Heisman night, man. It just makes sense. But again, this is boxing, so a lot of times the things that make sense don't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. As long as we get in the fight, that's all I'm really worried about. What this fight mean for both fighters, man? I think for Frank Martin, like let's talk about that. Let's talk about a win. Hold up, what my man Raph said. I wonder how Frank Martin gonna get on the inside of Shakur. Whoa. Raph, come on, man. You gotta reword that, man. I wonder how Frank Martin is gonna break distance. Is gonna break the distance of Shakur Stevenson. This is nasty work, Raph. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is This is very nasty work. And right now, Ralph.
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
Yeah, that's nasty work. Let's get this comment up out of here. Uh um hey, real quick. Hold up, let me see what we got. They said they keep trying to put T.O. in New York on Heisman night. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's not his thing. He don't belong there. Hey, Ralph, it's all good. You know I'm gonna get you when you hey, you know I'm gonna get you, man. But nah, like a win, Frank Martin win over Shakur Stevenson, that's big, right? Because if Frank Martin could get a win over Shakur, he got to fight Tank next. That got to be the next fight, right? I mean, Tank and the Devin, like that to me, that shit put Frank Martin right in superstar. Like if he's able to like fucking knock out Shakur or some shit like that, that's crazy. Like I think this win is when you include the sport of boxing and the media and the fans and all of that, this win is way more big for Frank Martin than it is for Shakur Stevenson. If Shakur beats Frank Martin, they're gonna say, "Oh, Frank Martin started boxing late. Frank Martin was older. We saw him struggle a little bit against Marinez. We saw him have issues against his last opponent, our team, Hardatunian, whatever the guy name was. Shakur was supposed to do that." That's exactly what they're gonna say. Shakur was supposed to do this. But if Frank Martin is able to pull out a win against Shakur Stevenson, sheesh. And he ain't gonna be the ghost no more, for sure not. Frank Martin gonna be the money man. You know what I'm saying? My man L Dub. Hey, listen, shout out to my man L Dub Boxing. L Dub was good. That's my man. OVAJ, Boxstradamus. Listen, if you tuned in right now, make sure you go click on L Dub Boxing, subscribe to his page. He breaks down all of the rankings. My man know who going. Listen, everybody gotta have a somebody they go to. When I got a question that I'm unsure of, L Dub Boxing is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Very friendly, very cool guy to talk to. You know what I'm saying? If your boxing knowledge wrong, he definitely gonna get you right. You know what I'm saying? My man L Dub definitely gonna get you right. But shout out to my man L Dub Boxing in the building, man. What's good, my boy? What percentage I'm giving Frank? Yo, truthfully, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I'm saying 80-20. That's how I feel. I think it's 80-20. I think that Frank Martin got to do his best. He got to make this a dog fight. I don't think he's going to be able to break the distance to Shakur Stevenson that easy. The biggest glaring hole that I see in Frank Martin fight game is that his defense. His defense is one way. He liked to use that high guard. He liked to use that shield. I don't know, man. I just see Shakur Stevenson breaking that high guard up. If you watch Shakur Stevenson, if you're able to break down footage, you'll see he's not in there just doing anything. And with guys that like that high guard, that like to fight out of that high guard, he breaking them things up, man. Shakur Stevenson is a high guard killer. You get what I'm saying? I would feel like the fight will be a little bit closer if Frank Martin maybe had a couple different defenses that he could go to. Maybe if Frank had a low guard, you know what I mean? A shoulder roll or something like that. Because I do believe that Frank Martin has the superior feet in this fight. That's something that I haven't been hearing a lot of people talk about. But when you talk about footwork, Frank Martin definitely has great footwork. He got real decent footwork. He could definitely get around you. He could step around. And if you playing Frank Martin to make you look bad, you get what I'm saying? Now we ain't really see Shakur as like this big guy that like take angles and do a lot of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur get the job done. Hold up. Fat Still was good. What's good, my boy? My man Fat Still in the building. Shout out to you, my boy. Frank said, my bad. My man H Dog said Frank the Ghost gonna turn into Frank the Bank if he beat Shakur. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Frank Martin beating Shakur Stevenson. Sheesh. Now again, like I gotta be real with you. I got a lot of respect for Frank Martin. I fuck with Frank Martin. I'm a fan of Frank Martin. You get what I'm saying? I don't see a way that he could beat Shakur Stevenson. Now, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I think he could possibly do to get it done. But, after I break these fights down and after I kind of go back and sit and look at these fights, man, it's one last test I go through. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious. It's a plain test. You're gonna be like, yo, Truth, what you talking about, man? The test is, can I envision myself waking up on Sunday morning and saying, damn, Frank Martin really beat Shakur Stevenson? No. That's my test, bro. That's really my test. Again, after I break all of these fights, especially the fights that I'm looking at film and looking at tape and I'm dissecting movements, looking at footwork, looking at defenses, who throwing feints, who like to do this against the ropes, what his favorite combination is, all of that. After all of that, I asked myself, can I wake up the next morning and really say that this guy beat that guy? And that's how I felt about the Errol Spence and Crawford fight, bro. For some reason, I just couldn't imagine myself waking up the next morning and saying, damn, Errol Spence really beat Terrence Crawford? I just couldn't do it. Again, you know what I'm saying? Earl is my guy. I fucks with Earl. And the crazy part about it is, I've never been to a Terrence Crawford fight. I flew to LA with wifey to go see Errol Spence fight. I flew to Dallas, sat in a suite to go see Errol Spence fight against Ugas. I got Errol Spence merch again, so it ain't no hating shit. It ain't no, I'm on a bandwagon. But sometimes you got to be a fan, and sometimes you got to observe what you're looking at. And when I looked the gift horse in the face, when I looked both of them fighters at what they was doing, I just felt like it was no way I was going to wake up Sunday morning and be like, yo, Errol Spence really got that off. I just couldn't see myself doing it. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why I made money on that Saturday night, for sure. But now back to Frank Martin. Like I said, Frank Martin, he liked to use that shield a lot. He liked to use that high guard a lot. And Shakur, man, he real special at finding shot selection, punching around that high guard. Shakur like to go to the body. We seen in Frank Martin last fight in that art team, whatever the guy last name was, that last fight. Frank was showing that he really don't like that body work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say that Shakur Stevenson is Mike McCollum. I'm not gonna say he the body snatcher, but for sure, Shakur Stevenson makes a serious effort to go to the body. You know what I'm saying? So if Frank Martin is gonna win this fight, I see Frank Martin having to be on his A game with his feet, possibly trying to take angles, jabbing his way in, forcing Shakur up against the ropes. Now, one thing I will tell you about Shakur Stevenson, one of the few things that I notice about him, sometimes he got a tendency to get comfortable against the ropes. Sometimes he might be on the ropes when he don't really need to be on the ropes. And bad things happen when you on the ropes sometimes. Again, even if you pay attention to the shot people like to talk about so much in a Valdez fight, where he talk about how he took the body shot against Valdez and he went back to the corner and told his grandfather he wanted to throw up. That was a body shot that Valdez landed while Shakur Stevenson was against the ropes. So again, and even in a couple other fights, like I said, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna give it up, but in a couple other fights, people have been able to have a little bit of success against Shakur Stevenson if you're able to get him to the ropes. But the difficult part is getting him to the ropes and keeping him there on a consistent basis. Shakur's a guy that he works behind that distance. I don't think nobody in the sport of boxing controls distance better than Shakur Stevenson. Now maybe there might be some 1A, 1B guys, or maybe you could say Shakur is 1A to somebody, you're number one, but I don't think it's too many fighters that control distance better than Shakur Stevenson. I'm sure that there's a decent size, maybe at least a couple inch arm reach with both of these guys. But again, I just can't see Frank Martin getting this done. I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to come in here. He's going to figure Frank Martin out quickly, especially if Frank Martin is not giving different looks, right? And Frank Martin in not his last two fights, in the Jackson Marinez fight, And I'm not talking about the Michelle Rivera fight because he completely dominated Michelle Rivera for 12 rounds. I think he just didn't step on the gas. Maybe that was his first 12 round, but maybe he didn't want to possibly gas himself out or nothing like that. But he completely dominated Michelle Rivera. But even in his last fight, last month, as I'm watching this Frank Martin fight, I'm starting to feel like, yo, I think Frank might fuck around and need a knockout or a knockdown, which he did get the knockdown. But at the same time, Frank Martin had to dog those fights out. I'm talking about this Jackson Marinez fight, and I'm talking about this our team, whatever that guy name was. Frank Martin was he had to dog those fights out, and that's something that I kind of noticed about Frank Martin too. Certain fighters can fight well. You get what I'm saying? Certain fighters, you put them in the ring, whether with headgear, without headgear, they can fight well. And other fighters have an uncanny ability to adjust, right? What is your boxing IQ like? What kind of in-ring adjustments are you making? In the Jackson Marinez fight with Frank, the only adjustment I seen was him turning the volume up, him dogging it out. In this last fight with our team, whatever that guy name was, the only adjustment I seen from Frank was him dogging it out. I think that he's gonna have a rough time if he's not able to, counter some of the shots that Shakur throwing. If he think that he gonna just come in here with Shakur Stevenson and just dog it out in them late rounds, I think we might see Frank Martin stopped for sure. Dead serious. I think if Frank Martin does not come in here with a plan A, B, and a C, we'll see Frank Martin stopped. We will see Frank Martin stopped for sure. That's my personal opinion. You don't like it? I don't give a. You know what I'm saying? If Frank Martin don't come in here with multiple game plans, we gonna see him stop. I do want to see what kind of resistance he gonna put up against Shakur Stevenson. I think this is the hardest puncher that Shakur is gonna face so far in his career. I don't think that he's fought somebody with the athleticism or footwork of Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? And I think that those things is important themselves. Again, what's my man Yoshino? Not athletic at all. We saw what that we saw what that was about. And on top of that, this is a southpaw on southpaw matchup. Great matchup, southpaw on southpaw. I think I think the last southpaw we seen Corin with was it Jamel Herring? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this guy Yoshino was a southpaw or not. I was in the building too, but whatever. But yeah, we seen what that Jamel Herring fight looked like. Now I want to say it was like maybe the 5th round when Shakur decided to stand in the pocket and get busy. We saw Herring have a little bit of success, and that's where I want to see Frank Martin at, because don't get it fucked up. Shakur Stevenson is not gonna run. Shakur Stevenson is not a runner or a track star at all. He may move a little. You get what I'm saying? But for the most part, Shakur does his work in that mid-range, right? Maybe kind of like the same place Terrence Crawford like to operate out of. In that mid-range. Like that's where Cole get his work done at. And truthfully, I think that's where Frank Martin need him at in order for him to, put things together, maybe counter. I think this is going to be a decent fight, man. I want to see if Shakur Chin going to be able to hold up to Frank Martin, if Frank Martin is able to land clean and flush. I want to see again, Shakur Stevenson spoke about the body shot from Oscar Valdez. Well, can you take some body shots from Frank Martin? Because Frank Martin cracking, right? We seen him spark Duno out. We seen what he did. There was my man Jerry Perez. We seen Frank Martin get busy. We seen him with some decent highlight knockouts. Now, none of these guys is the caliber of Shakur Stevenson, but this boxing, right? Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm ready. I'm ready to for this fight, man. Please, Top Rank, give us this fight on ESPN. Now, and you know what? Let's talk about that, right? Let's get back into the business a little bit. If Top Rank want to charge me $50, $60, $70 for Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin, I'll pay it. I don't know about y'all. I'll pay it. Now, if I could get in the building, if I could be in the building, I'll be there. I'm a still and look, me, I support my fighters so much that I will go to the fight, and not only will I go to the fight, I'm still I'm still gonna be able to go to the fight, and I'm still gonna and I'm still gonna pay for that pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, you just gotta support your guys. I'm gonna support my boy Core. My man Boston said it's not a Showtime event. No, no, sir. Like I said, I read the article earlier. They came to an agreement. It's not going to be a Showtime fight. This fight will be broadcasted on ESPN. Maybe how they do ESPN Plus for the undercard and all of that other good stuff. But this is a top rank event. Frank Martin is gonna cross the street and go over the top rank. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. My man Ralph said Frank hasn't fought a lot of southpaws either. He probably spars with Earl a lot though. Hey, you know what, Ralph? I doubt it. This is a conversation that came up a couple times. And they kind of spoke about that. I don't think that Frank Martin spars Earl Spence much at all. Honestly, I don't. But I know for a fact that Shakur Stevenson spars Terrence Bud Crawford. Excuse me, I'm fucking my words up. I'm sure that Core spar Bud often. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's another American southpaw that's better than Terrence Crawford. And again, it's two different style of fighters, so you can't just remove one and replace the other one. But bruh getting that work. You know what I'm saying? Bruh getting that work. My man, Boston, when was the last time a Showtime guy went over to ESPN? I don't know. But you listen, a lot of people talk about that, right? A lot of people talk about certain guys not going over to ESPN and certain guys doing this and doing that. But the fact of the matter is, let's just be real, and especially with the hold up. And let me say this. Hold up.
Stop the cap.
They got to stop the cap because people like to bring up this top rank versus PBC record of the top rank guys beating a lot of the PBC guys. But the fact of the matter is, PBC don't send their best to top rank. Let's just be real. Like when you see like a ESPN fighter or a top rank fighter fighting a TGB or whoever fighter that you want to talk about, they not getting the creme de la creme. You not getting the best fighter from Showtime. That's just not that's rare. You know what I'm saying? So I don't remember who the last PBC guy was to go over there, but at the same, no, I do. So Sean Gibbons got a fighter, Vincent Astrolabio. He just fought. I forgot what card that was. No, that was the Devin Haney. That was the Devin Haney and Lomachenko undercard. Vincent Astrolabio. That's a Sean Gibbons guy. He fought one of the Maloney brothers for one of them titles. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he fought one of the Maloney brothers. So as of recent, that was the last guy, if I'm not mistaken. That was the last Showtime guy that we seen. But remember, we seen, and I'm not just saying Showtime, but we seen Johnny Rice go over, and he just beat one of the ESPN prospect or the top ranked prospects, Guido. We seen Johnny Rice go over and do that. We seen Sean Porter go over and do that. You know, that was his last fight, little cash out fight. Barbara said fought anyway on ESPN. They did fight on ESPN. Barbara is right, but that fight was from Inoue's Japanese promoter. So that wasn't an ESPN promoted fight. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Inoue still owes ESPN in Top Rank one more fight in America. So believe it or not, Inoue got two promoters. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum is one, and then the Japanese promoter is the other one. But so yes, that fight was on ESPN Plus, but again, those are not top rank. Like that wasn't a PBC shit. PBC co-promoted that fight. You know what I mean? If you want to be honest, TGB, you know what I'm saying? Co-promoted the fight. You know what I mean? My man Vegas Mark said, that's right. Porter was the last Showtime PBC fighter that went over to ESPN against Bud. Nah, like I said, it was Vincent Astrolabio, and that was on the Devin Haney Lomachenko undercard, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. He said you're not gonna see Benavidez or you're not going to see Benavidez or Tank on ESPN at all. Nah, I mean them big money fighters. Why would you have that guy go over and them is big money fighters? It's just not going to happen. Fulton and Porter went on, but again, H Dog Fulton. That fight was co-promoted by TGB. That was I forgot his Tekken, whatever the Tekken promotions, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the Tekken, whatever in the way Japanese promoter is. That's who that fight was promoted by. And to make it more clear, sometimes like what's this last fight? Usyk and Dubois, right? Neither one of them guys is top-ranked fighters, but sometimes them fights don't have a network in America. So ESPN will pick up the fight. That doesn't mean that they ESPN fighters, but sometimes they'll broadcast those fights on their network, you know what I mean, and let their ESPN guys cover it. But neither fight ain't for that. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Hey, shout out to the Cuzzo RBZ with the super chat. Cuzzo, I appreciate you. Tell all them Shakur haters, put some bread up, cuz I got whatever on him. Me too. Shout out to RBZ with that super chat. That's a fact. Listen, as fair as I could be, y'all know A-Side keep shit a bean. Again, they call me Truth. The truth is undisputed. R.I.P. Draco the ruler, right? But at the same time, man, I just don't see. I feel like this is going to be that fight where those of us that like to myself included, I give Shakur Stevenson a lot of matchups. You know what I'm saying? I think this is going to be the fight where after this fight, I'm able to look back and say, this is why I be saying Shakur, do your favorite fighter like that. This is why I see Shakur and your favorite fighter going a certain type of way. I think Shakur Stevenson is going to come out here and get busy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not predicting a stoppage yet. I got more tape to watch. You know what I'm saying? My man Shakur already went dark. He already said he was going off the net. He already went quiet. He in training mode and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson a bad motherfucker. Shakur Stevenson, he a bad man, bro, for real. Shakur Stevenson is really that work, for sure. And so I'm telling y'all, do not be confused. Don't get crazy when you see this fight look a certain type of way and you thought Frank was going to be able to come with a certain type of smoke. I'm telling you right now, if Frank Martin think that he going to come with that high guard and that shield and lose rounds in the beginning and dog it out, sheesh, he got another thing coming. Sheesh. Hey, what my man say? It's not happening, man. Cuz I appreciate that super chat. Barbara, she said, I hope this is not one-sided. Hey, you know what, Barbara? Honestly, I don't want the fight to be one-sided. I want Frank Martin to really test Shakur Stevenson. I want him to put everything that I say about my favorite, about my guy, Shakur Stevenson, everything I say about him, I want that to be put to the test. I want that to be put to the test. But I'm telling you, this man is special. Shakur is a special fighter. And he's gonna get it done. I believe it. Do Frank Martin got a chance? Yeah. But I'm telling you, Frank Martin got to show us some things that he hasn't shown us before. Now, some fighters get to a certain type of level and they raise the stakes. They raise they playing field. They up their game. Ain't nothing wrong with upping your game at this level. But you got to up your game against somebody that really don't make too many mistakes in a boxing ring. Shakur not a lackadaisical fighter. Shakur Stevenson barely lose rounds. Not have close fights. You're talking about a guy that barely lose boxing rounds. Sheesh. Good hands. Frank athletic, but too stationary at times. Shakur would take advantage of it for sure. For sure, he's gonna take advantage of it. You know, man. Listen. See, again, for guys like RBZ, for guys like Truth Over Narrative, these is fights that we've been wanting. I don't want my, like, again, listen, people know what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm a Fulton fan, Crawford fan, Earl Spence fan, Shakur Stevenson fan, but I don't want my favorite fighters taking easy routes. I don't want, nah. Why? Because I'm gonna pop my shit. I'm gonna talk my talk. I don't want to see my favorite fighter taking no easy route. Give my favorite fighter that work. So when I speak, I can speak confidently. You know what I mean? Shout out to CJ's Boxing and Music. Facts. Appreciate you, CJ. Hey man, listen, we got some new guys in here. Again, all I'm gonna ask is that you hit that like button on the way in, so y'all can let YouTube know that y'all really rocking with me, man. That y'all really rocking with the A side. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm on here doing a lot of.
You keep on goddamn.
Hey, let YouTube know you rocking with me, man. That's all I'm asking. I'm up here doing all this goddamn You feel me? Let them know y'all rocking with me, man. Hit that like button, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. My man CJ Boxes already. Hold on, with my bad. I'm in the wrong spot. My man CJ said already did gang and sub. I appreciate that, my boy. Let's tap in. Let's work. You know what I mean? Vegas Mark 725. 2023 year is the year of the big fights. We just need Haney and Prograde to be official. Nah, you know what? I'll take Haney and Prograde to be official. Listen, all I want to do is see the best fights. I would have loved for Shakur Stevenson to fight. Listen, can I have some real talk with y'all? I told y'all the truth is undisputed. Listen, you know why I don't want to see Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney right now at 135 pounds? I'm going to keep it 100. That fight too easy for Shakur Stevenson at that weight class. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, that fight is too easy right now for Shakur Stevenson. That fight got to take place at 140. People going to disagree with me, and it's okay. Everybody entitled to their opinion. That fight is too easy for Shakur Stevenson. After Shakur Stevenson wipe him down, they're going to say, he was weight drained. He weighed in backwards versus Loma, blah, 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 blah. Listen, give me that at 140. Let my man Cole work at 35. Let him dominate 135, move up to 140. Haney's going to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, my man, okay, Ralph, man, if Shakur beat Frank, we got to start looking at Tank differently if he fight Pitbull. No. Listen, I like that statement that you said too, Ralph. You know why? Because you got to look at the gift horse in the face, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about let's transfer it over to women real quick. You know what I'm saying? You got the one girl that you know what? Before I go holler at her, I got to get my shit together because she's wifey material. And then you got your fun girl. You know what I'm saying? You got one that's all about the fun. You get what I'm saying? Tank Davis is who he is. Tank Davis is a great fighter. He put on a show. I will spend my money now and still. In the last year, I done been to the 2 Tank fights. I'd have been in the Hector Garcia fight. And last year, in 2022, I went to the Rolly fight. Right behind each other. Tank Davis is a fucking entertainer, and he put on great shows, and he has great boxing ability. And anytime he decide that he want to fight the best, he's 50-50, if not higher, with any of those guys. No question. But Tank Davis and his team has shown us that they in this for the money and they in this for the entertainment value. And I'm not mad at that. I rock with it. Listen, I'm one of them people, as long as you consistent with me, as long as I know who you are, as long as I got a good beat on what you doing and what you got going on, be you, my boy. I would feel funny if Tank just start talking about being undisputed right now and I'm gonna win this belt and win that. That's not Tank. And it's okay. That's not Tank. That's Shakur Stevenson. That's Terrence Crawford. That's Earl Spence. That's Canelo Alvarez. You get what I'm saying? That's what them guys is about, right? You know what I'm saying? Them guys is about the legacy. Why would I be mad if Tank is fighting Pitbull when Tank never talked to me about legacy? I never heard him say that. If you find an interview with Tank Davis talking about his legacy and what he wanted to leave in the sport of boxing, send it to me. I never seen one. I never seen an interview with Tank talking about legacy. So why would I, as a fan, then come in and put that on him? And he ain't gave it to me. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I rocks with Tank, bro. But let's look at the gift horse in the face. Let's look at what these guys doing. He never told us. He never told us that he was looking for legacy. He never told us he wanted to be undisputed. Floyd was never undisputed. That's his mentor. You get what I'm saying? Tank is in the big money fights. Tank is in entertaining fights. And Tank is going to knock your fucking head off. That's what he does. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Until Tank come and say, I want legacy, well then, I'm cool with what he's doing. But right now, Shakur Stevenson is looking for legacy. Stevenson is looking for legacy. Earl Spence looking for legacy. Canelo, say what you want about Canelo, looking for legacy. Charlo looking for legacy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like that's just the facts. You might not want to hear the truth, but that shit undisputed, bro. For real. My man H-Dog. All that Keyshawn and Frank going back and forth with just promotion for this fight. Nah, man. Listen, yo. Key, that's another one of my favorite guys, man. Key the truth, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Like Key like that too. But it's just not his time yet. But you got to see what he doing. Look what he doing. Promoting a fight. I wanted to see Keyshawn and Frank Martin. They done met up, and now this don't mean that fight can't happen. Hey, maybe Keyshawn think Frank Martin is sweet after this fight. Maybe he go pursue that net. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, like, yeah, man, you gotta step aside while Shakur get in his bag. My man RBZ. I've been praying for this fight because we need Shakur to get all the credit he deserves. Frank considered as one of the best, and he's a black athletic puncher. No more excuses. There you go. No more excuses. Y'all say y'all want to see. Y'all said Oscar Valdez feet was in the sand and he only had a left hook, even though he was a 2-division champion. Now I understand 2-division champions is not all created equal. I get it. But at the end of the day, y'all violated Cole for fighting him. Okay. And then he go beat up the guy that Oscar arguably lost to in Conceição. Then I'm hearing he should have fought on Shaky Foster. I get it. But we here now. Facts. You know how much we've been talking about this fight, cuz we here now. I don't want to hear it. I personally don't want to hear it. But we know what they're gonna come with. Oh man, Frank, you seen how them other dudes was in there with Frank, man. You know what's gonna happen. 2023 is the best boxer year that I can remember, myself included. Shout out to my man Juice in the building. Yo, salute A-Side in chat. Shakur versus Frank Martin. Yeah, let's get it. Nah, facts. My man H-Dog. Yeah, Shakur Haney at 135 is not even funny. 140, not even a weight for Haney. Shakur, nah. They ain't gonna keep running that long, H-Dog. They ain't gonna listen. My thing is, let Shakur beat Frank Martin. Let him get a couple defenses in that 135 and go get that boy. Go to 140 and get that boy, because that's where the money at. You know what I'm saying? This 135, let's talk about it. This 135-pound division right now, it's not Shakur Stevenson division. It's not. 140 is his division. Truth. Why would you say that 140 is his division? Look where the hit is at, man. Who at 135 besides Tank Davis? And that's the fight I for sure fucking want. I want to see Shakur Stevenson and Tank. So after this fight, that's going to be the fight. That's going to be the only logical fight for me to see, Shakur and Tank. And as a matter of fact, if Frank could come on to Top Rank, ESPN, I think Shakur could cross that other side of the street and go over and see Tank as the B side. You know what I'm saying? But 140 is Shakur Stevenson division. Why? Because you got Devin Haney moving to 140. You got Teofimo Lopez moving to 140. You got guys like Jose Ramirez, that's at 140. You got guys like Richardson Hitchens, even though, I mean, these guys good friends. Maybe that's one of them, I never fight this guy, blah, 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 kind of deal. But you got guys like that up there at 140. 140 is a very nice, a very decent division. I know Barboza is not with top rank no more. I mean, and I don't view him as high on the totem pole, but he ranked high at 140 as well. It's a lot of 140-pound fighters that's there. Regis Prograis, 140. Subriel Matias, 140. Gary Antoine Russell, 140. Elvis Rodriguez, 140. Sergey Lipinets, 140. These is guys that's making noise in that division. So somebody like me, again, that want to see my fighter in tough, I would rather my guy Shakur Stevenson move up to 140 and fight those names instead of staying at 135, probably going to beat Frank Martin, probably going to beat a Morataya, probably going to be whoever else they put in front of him. His big money fight is Tank did. Will Tank give him that fight? We never know. Will they go seek the fight? We never know. Will Bob let Shakur fight off of ESPN? We don't know. But that's the only fight I want to see Shakur at. After this fight, that's the only fight I want to see Shakur in a Lomachenko fight, because I think he's going to beat the brakes off Lomachenko, and he's going to do Lomachenko like nobody did. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that. You know what I'm saying? So we can't let Shakur and Haney go all the way to 47, H-Dog. I can't allow that, man. We can't do that. We can't allow that. That's nasty work. You know what I'm saying? My man Nate was good. My man Nate said hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button. Tap in with your boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we say Jake Donovan said that Tank and Pitbull is not happening next. It might be in spring 2024, but it's not next. Pitbull and Tank will have separate fights. Okay. Well, if that's the case, listen, H-Dog. It's a meme with the little dude where he be doing this. H-Dog. Mark my words. Take this and screenshot this. If Tank ain't fighting, let me move that so you can take this and screenshot this. If Tank is not fighting Pitbull Cruz next, Tank will be fighting Gary Russell Jr. at 135 in Baltimore, Maryland. I promise you. Believe me. Trust me. Believe in me, bro. He will be fighting Gary Russell Jr. I don't think it's going to be the Devin fight. I really believe if Tank is not fighting Pitbull, it will be Gary Russell Jr. at 135 or maybe 130-something catchweight in a homecoming fight in Baltimore. That's just what's on my mind. Call me crazy. Tell me, hey, I don't believe you. A-side, you wilding, you bugging, whatever. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? The fact Frank fighting Shakur before Tank is not a good look. Hey, Nate, listen. Again, like I said, you know, we haven't heard Tank talk about this legacy thing, and Tank did mention that Shakur is one of them names that he want to fight. So I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? Tank should fight Loma. Been waiting on that fight for years. Loma not taking that fight. I wish he would, but right now I don't think Lomachenko want that fight. A lot of people would say that Tank was ducking that fight. I don't believe that, but if that's what you want to go with, if not you, but if that's the narrative that people want to run with, go ahead and run with that. But I don't think none of these fighters are scared of each other at all. WBA went quiet on Rolly. Don't be surprised if Tank Rolly took. That's nasty work. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Let me see. My man Nate said Frank not beating Shakur on ESPN without a stoppage. He gonna need to turn it into a street. Nah, I don't listen. I think them judges would be fair. My man Broadway Joel, he said Edwin De Los Santos willing to cross the street. My question for Broadway, and then what? Edwin De Los Santos is willing to cross the street, and then what? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, I got a little time to my A-side familiar. I got a little time. We're gonna throw the link in the chat. If anybody want to come up and holler at me, y'all want to talk about this Shakur and Frank Martin, come up, holler at me. A-side boxing, we here. We're gonna keep cooking, but now I mean somebody come up here, we're gonna let him up here, we're gonna chop it up. Let me see. Edwin De Los Santos will be next for Shakur Stevenson. I'm listen. The only thing I say is I don't think that they're gonna keep feeding their guys to Shakur Stevenson. I don't think PBC gonna keep feeding guys to Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? My man Broadway, yeah, he said hit that like button so fast. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Again, like I said, man, Truth ain't gonna ask y'all for too much, man. We monetize now. You want to hit the super chat? Please be my guest. But just come in here and let the YouTube algorithm know that y'all rocking with A-Side, man. That's it, man. Like I told y'all before, man.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.
And they don't. So that's why y'all gotta hit the like button and let them know that y'all rocking with A-Side for sure. You know what I'm saying? My man Nate, I want to see Keyshawn getting there with Edwin De Los Santos. I think that'd be a great fight too. For sure. Hey, shout out to my man CJ Boxing and Music, $5 super chat. My guy, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We turning up. I'm glad you rocking with the content. You know, anytime we live, please come live, my man. You know what I'm saying? We rocking with you over on the A side. My man Joel just told Nate, what did Keyshawn do to you? Hey, listen. Hey, Broadway is my guy, man. Broadway, that's my guy. I like that he believed in Edwin De Los Santos. Shit, I was at the Boots and Via fight, and I seen Edwin De Los Santos up close and personal. Not only is he super fast, he could crack for real. He's really cracking. You get what I'm saying? Like Edwin De Los Santos is really, really, really cracking. I got it. But that was Rayo. But that was Joseph Adorno. Neither one of them guys is Keyshawn Davis. I'm not sure, Broadway. I'm not sure that Edwin could get it done against my guy Keyshawn, man. I just don't know, Broadway. I don't know. We would have to see that. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I want to see it? Hell yeah. Let me see it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Well, I don't know. We'll see who Edwin fight next, man. For a guy like Edwin De Los Santos, and you know, I would love to see him just get regular, just get on a regular schedule, man. A guy like Edwin De Los Santos could use that top rank love, that fighting every 4 or 5 months. I would love to see him do that. You know what I mean? Some high quality H2O right there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, Olympic silver medalist, good timing and speed. I know De Los Santos. Yeah, that's a good fight. Yo, shout out to my hold up. Shout out to my geyser. Hold up, where we at? Let me see. Where we at? Shout out to my geyser. Big Blunts and Boxing was good. It was good, my boy. He turned up. I know he still turned up off that Bud win, right? Edwin Zepeda. That's a good fight too. Edwin De Los Santos and William Zepeda. William Zepeda, he got actually got a fight this month and next week, I think. Next weekend. He got what's the dude? Mercito Jester, the dude that beat Jojo Diaz. He got a fight against him. So I think that's gonna be a little not saying tough, but we got to see, man. Oscar, think about it. Oscar, Ryan don't want to rock with him no more. Jaime Munguia is in the protection program. Zerto lost. We about to see him fight at cruiserweight against Joe Smith Jr. Cruiserweight is not a popping division, so we know what's going on there. I don't think that Oscar's in a rush to do anything with Williams Zepeda that's going to look like losing. Now, Williams Zepeda is a dog. For sure. He's a dog, like a real dog. No, I'm 100. Williams Zepeda is a dog. But I just don't think that Oscar willing to risk Williams Zepeda just yet. Just knowing kind of what Golden Boy looked like. That I'm not gonna lie, it looked like that shit looked like a desert over there at Golden Boy right now. It's real dry over there at Golden Boy. So I don't know what plans Oscar got for that guy, but it better include fighting maybe like a Floyd Schofield or one of them other guys, because you don't want to risk your guy going on to another platform and taking the L like Ryan Garcia did. You know what I mean? So, you know, ooh, my man Broadway said, I got no doubt that Edwin would brutally KO him. Ooh, you think he KO? We're gonna talk about that, bro. You know, see, Broadway, that's my brother. Me and Broadway, we talk a lot daily. We talk boxing. I never heard Broadway say he'd think that De Los Santos will brutally KO Keyshawn Davis. Now, maybe we just never had that conversation, but I didn't know you felt like that, bro. We're gonna have to talk about that. We we definitely gonna have to talk about that. My man Big Blunt said it was good. I kind of want. Let me see. I kind of want Devin. My man Miguel Ralph said I kind of want Devin to vacate so we can see the top guys mix it up. Listen, they don't need Devin to vacate to mix it up. We know Isak Cruz don't want to fight nobody. Well, and then who is the other top guys that we want to see mix it up? You know what I'm saying? Like it's Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin. They about to mix it up. We just saw Devin Haney and Lomachenko. They mixed it up. So I mean, in 20, even those two fights right there, that's them deep fights in the 135 division. We seen Williams Zepeda a couple times. Who else? Who else up there? Lomachenko. We seen him. I mean, you know, it ain't really too much more mixing up that you could do. Isak Cruz don't want to fight nobody. You can't do that. You can't make him. He rather fight Giovanni Cabrera and go 12. You know, it's crazy work, bro. Crazy. Why haven't Devin signed that contract yet? What's going on? So I'm not sure. I think they're having some date issues over there, but don't be surprised if we possibly could get Devin versus Tank. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that opponent is gonna be Gary Russell. But hey, you never know. Maybe he was holding out for Tank. Maybe he wanted a bag. You never know, right? You know what I mean? So we'll see. Just ain't gonna do much to Zepeda. I'm thinking late stoppers. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you know how I go. My man Nate Munguia definitely in witness protection program. Dropped out of negotiations of every good fight that was on the table. And as a matter of fact, before this Andre and Benavidez thing came to pass or is supposed to be hitting, I was told that they was trying to negotiate something with Jaime Munguia at 168 with Benavidez and Munguia. Now, I don't know how real that was. I know that the teams had talks. I'm sure, obviously, the talks ain't go nowhere, but, you know, he don't want to fight nobody, man. He don't want to fight nobody. Big Blunts in boxing. I'm trying to figure out why I can't get Abdullah Mason versus Keyshawn Davis because they see something in Abdullah Mason. Did you see Abdullah Mason last fight? He looked good, took some shots, you know what I mean? But he not ready yet. The dude, 19, 20 years old. People be thinking that Keyshawn is like 20, 21. Keyshawn is older than Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I think they the same age, but he might got Devin Haney by some months. Like Keyshawn 24, about to be 25. Like he's not no young guy. You know what I'm saying? I truly think that, yeah, Abdullah Mason got a lot of tools and skills, but has he fought an 8-rounder yet? Was that his first 8-rounder? I think that Keyshawn Davis would ruin him. Like, for sure. He's not ready for that fight yet. Certain guys you got to let mature. Certain guys, I think you could push faster. Like a Keyshawn, you could kind of push him faster. We see him moving up in a W. I think, matter of fact, he ranked everywhere except the IBF, maybe. I think. But yeah, I think he'll ruin him, man. I think he will ruin Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think we want that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said throw Murataya versus Ortiz. Well, we got to see if Ortiz can make weight. Ortiz, he had a fight, he blew the weight, and we still got to see him back at 135. So I'm not sure, but I think that would be a good fight for Murataya if Ortiz can make the weight. I think he stopped Ortiz for sure. I mean, but I think that'll be a good fight for Murataya. My man, they said Isak definitely pimping out the Tank performance. Yeah, should get ranked. Yeah, man, he don't want to scrap, man. Y'all high on Abdullah Mason? Yeah, bro, Abdullah Mason is the truth, but he just got to be developed. We can't let these guys just, you know what I mean? We some guys, they got to go through the ringer. They got to go through the mix. They got to go through the, you know what I mean, the building process. I like Abdullah, but I'm telling you, you get him. Talent always look good against less talent. I'm going to say that. Talent always look good against a guy that's less talented. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all think that Keyshawn Davis is not as talented as Abdullah Mason. Maybe that's not what I think. But, you know, I can't discount nobody else's opinion. But for me, I think if you put Abdullah Mason in the ring with a Keyshawn Davis right now, he will get styled on and brutally stopped, bro. I really believe that. And I think Abdullah Mason is going to get to a point where he's 21, because we like 18, 19 years old right now. I think Abdullah Mason get 21, 22. He going to be unfuckwittable. But right now, nah, let him build. Let him build. Let him keep going. You know what I mean? Because, just let him build, man. Let him build. You know what I'm saying? He definitely nice. My man Nate said, Jahad Tucker, my God, can't believe he lost. You know what, Nate? That fight, I felt like he should have got the win, but it just goes to show sometimes you got to put emphasis on these fights. These fighters go through these training camps. They go through sparring. They running. They doing all of this. You shouldn't be doing all of that and stopping just short. You know what I'm saying? Or feeling like you got a fight in the bag. I think that he did win that fight. To me, I think he won that fight. But I think Jahad Tucker left a lot in the ring. I think he left a lot. I think he left a lot in the ring. He didn't give it all. You know what I'm saying? And he had to pay for that. Missed weight a couple times. You calling out the other top dude, or you calling out they golden child Xander Zayas. Like we knew it was coming. The previous fight that he fought, he didn't have no business being. That was a grown ass man he was in there with. He didn't have no that first round. He almost punched Jahad head off his shoulders. I know you remember that. Jahad Tucker ain't had no business being there with that guy. But at the end of the day, he definitely dogged it out and got the win. And I respected that win. But at the same time, once I seen him match that tough, I kind of knew what it was. Personally, I just felt like they was in there. They was in there trying to really see what Jahad Tucker was made of. Now, his bounce back fight, he got to come in there and turn it up. He cannot play with these guys no more. If you need to finesse your way out of a fight, go ahead and do that. Finesse your way out of a fight if you need to. These guys, that's not that dude, Nicola Flowers. He was supposed to beat the shit out of him, and he could have done it. I just feel like he just thought he was going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like that, man. I didn't like that. He left a lot in the ring that night. And as a fighter, you never supposed to do that. Never supposed to leave it in the ring, man. You know what I mean? You're supposed to leave it in the ring, I should say. I feel like he left some backstage. He left some shit in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. My man Ralph said, I was yelling at Jahad on my TV. He got to mature and stop giving these guys a chance. He better. Yeah, he way better than that. Jahad nice. Jahad could box. You know what I'm saying? He got a little pop to him. He's definitely got to grow into that, especially at 54. You got to grow into that weight class as far as strength is concerned. But, I mean, I had Jahad on my channel before. I definitely interviewed him. Dude is full of confidence. And I fuck with Jahad Tucker for sure. But, again, you got to dominate. When the opportunity presents itself to dominate, don't play with these guys, man. And I think he played with his food a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, Jahad was in a dog fight that nearly got, yeah. He should have he said, Jahad, let me see. Jahad talked the game, matchmakers matched him big. He didn't come through. Well, I think the previous fight was more of a match them big. You know what I'm saying? Dog, like, that guy he just fought, that Nicholas Flowers guy, he was supposed to beat him, bro. I don't think they looked at it with that, man, for sure. Yeah, he said, what do I think of Nico Walsh? I don't. I don't. But if you asking me how do I feel about him as a fighter, I feel like he's the same fighter that we saw in his first fight. This guy that he just fought proved it. And I feel like if he continues to fight, I think he's going to get brutally stopped. So I think the first thing he should do is actually get some regular trunks, leave those other trunks alone. I think he should drop the Ali part. That's cool that's your granddad, but you got a daddy and your name is Walsh. You know what I'm saying? His mama name Walsh, I'm going to call him Walsh, right? If mama name Clay, I'm going to call him Clay. I'm going to call him Walsh, man. I don't know. Nico Walsh, put your hands up. Duck. You know what I'm saying? For sure. My man Big Blunt said, shout out to Team Tucker, to my guys. Yeah, I rock with him, man. I rock with him. Nah, for sure. Hey, listen, man. I've been at this joint for about an hour and a half, man. I appreciate everybody coming on here, rocking with me. Again, if you just stepped in, make sure y'all tap that like button. You know what I'm saying? Please let YouTube know that y'all rocking with Truth, that y'all rocking with the A side. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this again, man. I think maybe Friday or I gotta see, man. I got so much going on outside of this, man, but I gotta get back to a regular schedule, man. I promise by this weekend, I'm gonna have a solid schedule of when I'm gonna be live, man. That's the least I could do. If y'all on here tapping in, if y'all fucking with ASAP, if y'all fucking with me, man, the least I could do is be consistent and have a solid schedule. So that's what I'm gonna come with, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, put the notifications on, man. Again, like I said, we monetize now. You want to drop a super chat, I appreciate it. But most of all, man, hit that like button and make sure you turn them notifications on for your boy, man. It's ASAP Boxing. Y'all know who it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe. Send the hate too, man. The hate is equal to the love, man. Send it all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all rock with me. Y'all been here for a little minute, man. It's ASAP Boxing, man. We out.